Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a full day of eating, and these are some easy to eat recipes that you can make for when you first get your braces put on and you have to only eat soft foods. When you first get braces put on, there's a lot going on in your mouth and it can be quite a big adjustment. So it's important to have something that's easy to chew or something that you don't even need to chew at all, because it can be quite painful and uncomfortable. And this can happen not only for the first few days after you get your braces put on, but even after you have an adjustment done when they change the wires, you can be quite sore for a few days after that. So when I first had my braces put on, which was not that long ago, only 7 weeks ago, I had these bite turbos stuck to my teeth, which meant that chewing was a massive challenge. I'll just show you what they look like. So that's what they look like. They stop me from being able to bite down properly, so I basically have to chew all of my food on those 2 points in my teeth. So that's quite a challenge. You do get used to it, so don't despair. Like if you have braces, you're going to get used to it. You'll be able to eat normally within no time at all. However, I do find that in those first few days, it's very easy to just be like, oh well, I'll just go hungry, I won't be able to eat properly. I'm quite conscious of my caloric intake. I like to go to the gym when they're actually open, and I like weight training, so I'm quite conscious of how much I take in. The thought of going hungry for a few days after I first had my braces put on was a little bit frightening, even just a few days. And also just going hungry is not very nice. It's just uncomfortable, unpleasant and miserable. So I thought I'd try and help you guys out by giving you a few different recipe ideas. We've got a breakfast, lunch and dinner recipe here. We're in the kitchen and let's get started. First up is a breakfast smoothie. This one is lovely and cold. It has ice in it, so it will help ease that braces pain. The oats and the whey powder make it filling as well, so you won't feel hungry after 20 minutes like you would if it was entirely made of fruit. If you don't use protein powders at all, then you can substitute with yogurt, and if you don't have cherries or blueberries, then any fresh or frozen berries will do. Strawberries, bananas, whatever you like. All you need to do is just add all the ingredients into a high-speed blender and serve. I don't personally like peanut butter, but if you do, peanut butter is also a great addition to add some fats and proteins to the smoothie. Next, we're going to make some soup. So over here I've got my red lentils, some bacon, I've got garlic, an onion, some chicken stock, a massive butternut squash and some sweet potatoes. I went to the shop yesterday to buy the ingredients, and this is the size of the squash. As you can see, it's like as big as my head, maybe even bigger. I don't really know how I'm going to cut into this bad boy. I can either wait for my partner to get home, he can do it for me, or I could chuck it in the oven to soften it up slightly first. I don't know what to do. So in the end, I just decided that I was going to try and cut up this big beast of a butternut squash by myself, and I sharpened the knife and managed to do it with quite a lot of effort, but I did manage. The great thing about soup is that everything gets blended up, so you can really just roughly chop everything and throw it all into a pan. You don't need to make anything chopped up perfectly, make it look nice. It all just gets thrown in, cooked up and then blended, so it's super easy. Here I'm just adding in some seasoning. And then I'm filling up the pan with some water. It doesn't really matter how much you use because you can add more later if you need to. This recipe gives you a really beautiful, thick, hearty soup. It has lots of carbs and lots of protein from the lentils as well as some fat from the bacon. Once everything's cooked, you just blend it again in a high-speed blender. This third recipe is a tofu recipe. So I've got my tofu here, I've got broccoli, a sweet potato, and an avocado. So this recipe, well, it's not so much a recipe as a combination of some different ingredients that we threw together one night and it turned out to be really easy to eat meal. First of all, you need to press your tofu to remove the excess liquid. So I tend to do this for about 10 minutes. I just press the tofu in between a couple of plates, put some weight on top to squeeze out some of the water. You can see there that the water is coming out into the plates, and then you just drain it off. I'm using sweet potato in this recipe, but you don't have to use sweet potato. If you prefer white potato, you can use those too. Once your tofu is pressed, you can crumble it into a frying pan with a little bit of oil. I also added in some finely sliced onion, which I didn't show there because I forgot all about it. So I'm going to add in a little bit of finely sliced onion as well to fry it up, gives it a bit of flavour. Then I'm going to be adding in some paprika, some turmeric for colour, and some soy sauce. If you don't like tofu, you absolutely don't have to use it. You can make scrambled eggs instead. Just add a little bit of it, melted cheese as well. It's amazing. So in this clip, I actually cooked the potatoes and the broccoli separately because I don't really have many saucepans. So I cooked the potato first, took that out, put it to one side, then cooked the broccoli afterwards. But if you have a steamer, you can totally do them both together. You don't have to do them separately. So it's taste test time. We've got a smoothie, which is a little bit room temperature-y now. Soup and a mushy medley.
Great.
Which one would you like to try first? Try my smoothie.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
I would just maybe blend it a bit longer.
Yeah, I think so too, because it's got oats in it and it needs a little bit longer to get rid of all the bits.
Yeah.
But it's got a nice flavour, hasn't it?
Yeah. Not bad.
And you can like water it down if you prefer a thinner smoothie, or you can keep it nice and thick like I've done here. I like a thick one. So we've got soup as well. This is my lentil and bacon and butternut squash soup. Now I have put some bread with it, but if you've just had braces put on, you probably can't chomp through a slice of bread. But you can do what I did when I got braces, which is like to rip it into bits and put it in the soup to make super soggy croutons.
Okay.
That way it's a bit more filling. And you can like smush them up in your mouth. It's actually really nice. I tried it earlier, but
Sounds right.
have a go on that.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Say it in that direction.
Huh?
Say it in that direction.
Ah. Yeah, I like it.
It's quite hearty, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe I would probably put a bit more salt, but it's quite tasty like that as well.
I did add a little bit of, I added salt and a whole stock pot. But
I think it's personal.
you just have to season it to taste. The bacon I put in wasn't smoked, it was just unsmoked bacon. Maybe if it was smoked it would be salty enough. So, yeah. Personal preference, isn't it? Next we have the mushy medley. So there's mashed broccoli, mashed potato, some overripe avocado so that it's nice and soft, and then my scrambled tofu. The tofu is actually pretty good.
To say this isn't actually my dream job.
Tasting food.
Yeah.
This is what we had on the first night that I had my braces, after I had my braces put on, isn't it? We had soup the first night, and then the next night, when it was nice and sore, we had this.
I think this is a very nice balanced meal.
It's balanced, it's got carbs and protein and fat from the avocado.
There you go.
It's substantial, but it's not going to be painful to eat. Let me know in the comments below if you found any good meal ideas for when you have braces pain. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and once again, thank you for watching.